Hi, Rachel Alder here, and this is day 10 out of 30. Wow, man, today's a weird day. So it's a short day because my husband has a procedure, so I gotta wrap up about noon today. So I only have about 3.5 hours to work because I got my little one to school a little bit early. So my main focus today is I want to write my thank you emails to the panel who served on our panel last week. I had already hoped to have that done, and life has just been lifing. And so that's my main focus is to get those sent out. I had all good intentions of getting personalized cards and handwriting and mailing them out. And I had to just have like this talk with myself that anything is better than nothing. And so while my ideal way is not happening, an email with appreciation goes a long way too. So that's my focus, as well as a meeting, a client session, and then making sure I've got food in my body so that I can take care of my husband after his procedure. This morning was a rough one as a business owner. Not too bad, but I do tend to log in to my bank account every day. Some people say this is a scarcity mindset. I'm really glad that I have this kind of ritual and rhythm in my life because when I logged in, my checking was negative in the red by a few thousand. And part of that was me not realizing it's quarterly tax season, so it was scheduled to come out today as well as payroll. And I thought the quarterly taxes were coming from my savings account and not my checking account. So that was an error on my end that I've now noted for next quarter. And so both came out today, and I was anticipating each to come out of the checking and savings. And so I was able to transfer money real fast. But let me tell you, as a business owner, seeing negative red, not just a few dollars, a few $1,000s was a alarming wake-up call. And so I'm really grateful that I do check. Part of the reason I check is to just like track, like, okay, I know this expense is coming out. Do we have the funds there? Just making sure it's there. And I checked today and had one of those real life of like, whoops. So I moved money from savings to my checking to get it from red to black again, which is good. It's a plus. Um, but man, those are one of those times like as a business owner, you're like, how could you have done that? And you panic. And just that reality of having compassion for ourselves, that like these things happen, we're human. Um, Sometimes the dates that we remember things happening or coming out are not the dates that are accurate. And so I share that just to like share the behind the scenes of being a business owner. And it can be really stressful. And also, we're human, we're always learning and growing. While I have really good systems and feel like very structured with my business, even I still have these moments. The other thought I had while I was driving is being really grateful for the flexibility I have. So like the fact that I can take off early today and I moved things around to be able to support my husband. One, because I'm his wife and I'm supposed to, he needs me. He can't drive himself home after this. But just grateful for the flexibility. So even tomorrow, like I have some gaps in my schedule that I'll be able to like support him and check in on him. And the flexibility is amazing, especially as a mom. I am the pickup and drop off parent in our family because my schedule's more flexible. My husband has to leave early most days, and his hours are pretty set in stone, and they had been way before I started working. Um, but with that flexibility, it can also be stressful at times. So my hours feel condensed. And I think there are benefits to that. Like, these are the hours I can work. This is it if you want to work with me, or this is what I've got to do in this time. But there's also the disadvantages that I don't have as much flexibility for my clients of being able to say, like, hey, I can meet you here, or I can see you at that time. And their schedules don't always have as much flexibility. But I've been really thinking about if I hadn't set this all up for myself before becoming a mom, or as I was in the beginning stages of being a mom, I don't know how I would be if I had to work a traditional 9 to 5, or when I was in community mental health, it was like 9 to 7. I mean, some days 8 to 7, crazy hours. I don't know if my health would be the same. I don't know if my mental and emotional health would be the same. I honestly, I mean, we see lots of posts of this, but I really wish our world was different where we could be more flexible and adaptable and recognize like momming and being a parent. It requires so much out of us, and it is a job in itself. And I know there's that kind of message of like, but you chose it, right? And yes, I did choose it. And the bills still need to be paid. And my health still needs to be attended to, and my child's health and my husband's health. And I don't know what I would do if I didn't have this flexibility. And I often, when I start to maybe sometimes panic when things are low or the finances feel stressful, I start applying for jobs. And I can always lean on like I'm hireable. Like I know that I have a great skill set. I have a great background in this field. I know I could get a job, but I don't know if I could get a job that would meet the flexibility I need as a working parent. And so I often wrestle with like the gratitude and appreciation for that flexibility and also the downfalls of it sometimes of how restricted I am. And I recognize like that won't be forever. I have a young child. This is a phase of life. They're going to become more independent over time, which is going to open up more flexibility with my schedule. At some point, they won't live with me anymore, but I don't want to think about those days. Um, but it's just a lot of people think like, oh, business owners have it really great, and we do, but we also work really hard. And I think sometimes we don't, like the clock never stops. Like, yes, my schedule is 9 to 3, but I was in here last night right before bedtime doing something. I am constantly responding to emails in between little gaps I have. So yes, it looks like an ideal life and calendar in ways. And there's a lot of working in these little moments and working outside of a 9 to 5. So benefits and disadvantages, right? Sometimes I think it would be really nice to clock in and clock out. And it probably wouldn't be as life-giving for who I am. So just sharing some thoughts behind the scenes with that. I'm appreciative today that I can log off and be there for my husband and be the support person at home today. And that wouldn't be as easy. I'd be taking paid time off or sick time to do those things, which it would also be nice to have paid time off and sick time that was given to me for the hours I worked, other than me calculating that in as a business owner. So yeah, just the fun parts. There's so much goodness and also frustration, disadvantages. Okay, I will be back next week to kick off day 11. I'll see you then.